Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. On this week's show, we'll visit with Brianna Hayes from women's lacrosse, Melinda Kauffman from women's tennis, and Brian Peccie from the men's golf team. But first, here's a quick look back at the weekend in Washington in the athletics. 4 W&L teams won ODAC titles on Sunday. Senior defenseman John Broderick scored with 4.7 seconds remaining to lift men's lacrosse to an 8-7 win over Lynchburg. Women's lacrosse cruised past Randolph-Macon 17-7 to claim its 10th straight conference title, and both tennis teams won 5-0 in the ODAC finals as the men beat Hampton-Sydney and the women topped Lynchburg. Joining me now is Brianna Hayes, senior lacrosse captain from Comac, New York. Brianna, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Including the regular season and the tournament, 10 of your 11 wins against the ODAC this year came by double digits. What led to the Generals' dominance in conference play this year?
Yeah, we're really happy to have had a lot of success this year in the ODAC. We have an extremely deep team this year, about 33, 34 people, and everybody plays an extremely big role in all our successes this year. I'd say the big thing this year for all our success has been treating every single game, whether it be in or out of conference, like every other game, and preparing the same way we always would, scout and film, competitive practices, and as I said, with such a deep team, we're able to have those kind of competitive practices to play full field scrimmages and to be getting better every single day, so I think that's been the biggest key.
You're an important part of the Generals' game plan on both ends of the field. How do you approach your role as a midfielder?
I absolutely love being able to play on both ends of the ball. I actually came into W&L as a defender and quickly was switched to midfield during my freshman year. But the biggest thing I would say for the midfield and myself and all the other midfielders is not only are we playing on both ends of the ball, we're a big part of the transition, but to attack, defense, and vice versa. Our team has really prided ourselves on both our redefend and our clear. It's usually both are one of our strengths. So on the redefend, just redirecting the ball, slowing down the other team, and as well as on our clear, just getting the ball to our attacking end as quickly and efficiently as possible so our attack has time to work. So that's definitely a role I like to hone in on as a midfielder. And then on both ends of the ball, the way we usually play, we only run about one two-way midi at a time. So we have our 6 best defenders on the field and our 6 best attackers on the field at all times. So often for me, ever since I've been a freshman, I've kind of taken the role of doing the little things, or as Brooke likes to say, the dirty work. Sometimes it's just getting through next to ball for one of my teammates to drive, or sending one of my players to go double ball and I'm the backside slide. So it may not be the most glamorous role sometimes, but I've really honed into that and I've found it really rewarding over the past 4 years.
This will be the 4th NCAA tournament appearance for you and your classmates. You all were part of the national semifinal run as sophomores 2 years ago. How can you benefit from that past postseason experience?
It's really beneficial for our whole team to have that experience, to not only live and learn from, but to kind of drive us forward, and that this is a program that has the capability to make it that far on a national level. At the time, we still have actually a lot of players who were key contributors. 2 years ago we made that run, Haley Tucker, Cordelia Peters, our goalkeeper Elliot Gilbert. So those are people who were on the field at the time and know what it's like on the field to make it that far. And I was fortunate when I was a sophomore to have such great leadership in the senior class. So with my senior class being so big and having such a big influence, we've been really trying to emulate that senior class in their leadership and their level of play. But I would say most importantly from 2 years ago, we still have Brooke, who is just an absolutely amazing coach, and she knows exactly what it takes to not only get us there, but to instill the confidence our team needs to get us back to that point and hopefully further in the tournament this year.
What are the keys to another deep postseason run?
Yeah, I would say we're taking it one day at a time. Right now, our focus, despite having a hard bracket, our focus is Sunday, and we're excited to play at home on Watt against either Meredith or Ithaca, who are both extremely competitive teams, and just doing what we've been doing thus far to get us to this point. That's why we have had such great success, doing all the little things, whether that be conditioning our first day of the week, make sure we're getting in the weight room, extra shooting before practice, because I really think us doing the little things, the bigger goals will fall into place, and this team definitely has the talent to make a deep run in the tournament. So I think just taking it day by day, enjoying every moment, especially for our senior class, will help us make a run this year in the tournament.
Brianna, thanks for joining us. Good luck to the Generals in the national tournament.
Thank you.
I'm now joined by Brian Peccie, junior golf captain from Norfolk, Virginia. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Last week, Washington and Lee won the ODAC title. You beat out two other teams in Guilford and Hampton-Sydney that just received at-large bids to the Division III championship. How were the Generals able to claim the conference crown?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. After the first day, I think we were down like 11 strokes or so. Second day, cut it to 5 strokes, and that's kind of right where we wanted to be. We knew Guilford was playing one of their home courses down in Greensboro, so they're on their home turf. Guilford's obviously the favorite top 5 team in the country, and just we knew we were right where we wanted to. That back nine, we played it several times before, yielded a lot of birdies, and we knew if we just put the ball in play off the tee, we were going to have a great chance of winning. And sure enough, that's what happened. We made a lot of birdies come down the stretch. We were happy to come out on top.
You've teed off against some great competition throughout the season. How has that prepared you for this time of year? Yeah,
I think something that's special about our golf program is that we play in pretty much only top tier events throughout the entire season and around the country. So that means we play not only some of the hardest golf courses in Division III, but also we see the top teams in the country every single week. The Emory, Methodist, Huntington, all those teams that year in and year out are at the top of the ranks in the leaderboard every week. We not only get to see what it takes to be at the top of the leaderboard, but it also gives us confidence going to tournaments like this week that we know we can compete with anybody.
W&L finished second at the Division III championship last year. Of course, you won the individual national title. How can you draw off of that experience as you get set for another go at the NCAAs?
Yeah, it was obviously a good experience to have and to have in our back pocket, I guess, as we go into this week. That was a situation where I think for everyone on that team, it was one of the more pressurized situations we've ever been in terms of our entire golf careers. So just, again, knowing that we had that experience, we played in the final round, the final group of Methodist and Guilford, the top teams in the country again. Going head to head, I don't know if we could have caught Methodist, but being able to hold off Guilford at, again, one of their home courses on their home turf in Greensboro certainly gives us confidence going into the national championship again this week.
What are your expectations for this year's NCAA event?
So we always say on the men's and women's programs for golf, it's hard to kind of define expectations and whatnot, but week in, week out, we just want to play to the best of we want to elevate our games to the highest potential that they can be elevated to. And, we like to peak at the very end of the season, obviously with the biggest tournament of the year, the national championship this week. So I fully expect us to play our best golf this week. That's what we strive to do. And, like you said, we're going to try to build on the experience that we've had in the last couple of years and hopefully come out on top this year.
Brian, thanks for joining us. Good luck to the team at the NCAA.
Thank you.
With me in the studio is Melinda Kauffman, senior tennis player from Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. Melinda, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You just earned first team All-ODAC honors for the 3rd time in your career. What does that recognition mean to you?
Yeah, it's a huge honor that I'm very thankful to receive, and I'm just very grateful to have had the opportunity to play for the tennis team for 4 years now, and I'm excited to add this honor to my tennis career.
W&L has several underclassmen filling key roles in both singles and doubles play. How have those young players responded to the pressure of the big matches that you've seen this year?
Yeah, I've been so impressed by our freshmen just from the start, just seeing the maturity and how they've performed in these big matches. And I think that's something they're just going to continue to grow in and get better at the more experience that they gain. And I'm excited to see just how good they can really become.
The Generals had a number of close calls against some of the tough non-conference teams on your schedule, including 5-4 defeats to Carnegie Mellon and Mary Washington right at the end of the regular season. What are the keys to flipping results like that in your favor?
Yeah, so obviously those are tough losses, but I think scores like that just go to show how close we are and how hard we really can compete because we're right there at those top teams. So I think the key to our success in those big matches is just another day. And believing that we're right there and that if we come out fighting hard from the very first point and just compete and come out from the start, that match is ours any day. So I'm really excited about that.
W&L will face off against Sewanee in the 2nd round of the NCAA tournament in Atlanta on Saturday. What are your expectations for that match?
Yeah, so Sewanee's a good team. I don't think they should be overlooked in any way, but I think it's definitely a match we can be victorious in, and just kind of expecting that we need to focus and fight hard coming out from the very first point, and going up in doubles would really be crucial for us, because I think they are a team that will go away if we just come out and fight hard from the very first point.
Melinda, thank you for joining us. Good luck to the Generals in Atlanta this weekend.
Thank you.
This week's show brings us to the end of another season of the Sports Weekly. Special thanks to our terrific production team of Brian Lobsher, Michael Todd, and Lori Lipscomb, as well as to all of the coaches and student athletes who've joined us in the studio this year. Best of luck to all of our spring teams and athletes taking part in NCAA postseason competition. Visit generalsports.com for updated scores and schedules. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.